Hello everyone, welcome back to another Anthony Productions. Hopefully everybody's having a great week, staying safe, staying at home in quarantine. Hopefully we're living it up, hopefully not being too bored. I am back with another video. Today I want to do something a little bit different, not doing a vlog or anything like that because of the virus. Plus no stores are open, so I can't really film anything interesting. So I want to do a discussion video on my most craziest experiences buying shoes. You may or may have not known, I've been in this game for a long time, collecting shoes. Something that I always loved doing, not my only interest, but something that I really like doing. And I have collected some great experiences, some good, some bad, but most of them really positive experiences. So I definitely want to share my most memorable experiences while buying shoes. I had a lot of them, but I tried to narrow it down to 5 shoes in particular that I had a really memorable experience trying to get. So without any other interruption, let's get into it. I want to mention we're going to go in the least crazy to the most crazy. So the first shoe that I want to start off with is this shoe. It is the Nike Barkley Posit Max in the 76er colorway. This shoe I actually did not know I was actually going to be able to buy. I was at a local consignment shop called Suplex downtown in Philadelphia. I was camped out for their 5th anniversary sale. Actually was with a couple friends from my school. Shout out to Jalen and Jamari if you guys are watching this. You definitely remember this experience. We camped out at Suplex for their 5th anniversary sale. They had a bunch of steals, mainly a lot of hype shoes for real cheap. They had Yeezys, they had Off-White, a lot of hype Jordans as well. And I was trying to get those. I was trying to get some Yeezys for real cheap, as well as they had a couple of Pharrell Human races I was trying to get. But we didn't have too great of a spot in line. Now, I would say 15 or 20-ish in line. The people in the front got the Human races and the Yeezys. So basically tried to narrow it down to what else I wanted. I ended up getting Jordan 8 Bugs Bunnies. I sold the shoes, but I'll put a picture somewhere in this video. I got those, and I actually was in the store. I was real tired. It was raining. It was just honestly just wanted to get something and salvage this camping experience. So I ended up stumbling upon this shoe, something that I really wanted. I really liked the Barkley Posit Max. I couldn't really afford this when I was a kid because the retail is like $200 and I think $25. It could be a little bit more, I'm not sure, but really expensive. And they ended up having this shoe for $50, which was crazy. The detailing is insane. You got this like shiny Posit material, red Nike swoosh. Just going around, it's really a nice shade of blue. And then you have this glow in the dark outsole. Definitely checked, it does work, really glows nicely. Honestly, I think the most memorable experience that I always remember about buying that shoe was that I really wanted it for a long time. I've been searching for it. I looked on eBay, StockX, GOAT, which are 2 big sneaker sites besides eBay. Looked for it, couldn't find my size, and when I did find my size, people wanted a price that I was not willing to pay for that shoe. So for me, just to walk in the Suplex after I camped for that long, just to unexpectedly find it on the shelf in my size has to be the most unconventional coincidence that I have ever experienced. So that is going to be my number 5 for my most memorable, craziest experiences buying shoes. Is going to be the Barkley Posit Max at number 5. For the number 4 spot goes to the Yeezy 380 Alien. A crazy experience buying this shoe. Really limited release. Once we saw Kanye West wearing it, I was like, man, I need these. They're so nice, especially in person. So when they first released, they were going to basically only release online on a site called Yeezy Supply, which is Kanye West's website where he sells all of his hype limited shoes as well as his clothing line. Also, it's going to drop at very limited quantities in boutiques like Kith, which is in New York City, and a couple other ones. So I ended up getting this shoe on Yeezy Supply. Now they were going to drop random. Nobody knew when it was going to drop. Shout out to my Discord group. I do want to plug them in. It is the Chef's Table. I'll have to put a link in them below. So basically the Discord group tells me rumors and notifies me when this shoe will possibly drop, and also provides an early link if you want to set up for your bot or something like that. They ended up giving the early link to everyone in the group and also a possible time. And when they did drop super fast, monitors picked that up. It was on Yeezy Supply in the waiting room trying to get these. I was waiting so long in that waiting room, I was never getting through. And then basically midway through the release, that basically canceled it. They didn't start selling anything yet. They were just preparing for the drop, but you were in the waiting room anyway. So they basically canceled it, they axed it, and then it went live again later that night. If you actually were in the waiting room, you probably remembered this. But what ended up happening was that later, when I basically gave up all hope, I was like, man, everybody's hitting. I see a lot of success. I'm like, I don't know if I'm hidden because I think the shoe's going to sell out really soon. I ended up getting in on one tab. I had basically had 50 tabs opening, and each of the tab had the waiting room that I was waiting in to have a chance to buy the shoe. One went through and I was able to cop. I didn't get the size I wanted. This is a 12 and a half. I'm usually like a 13, but I'm gonna make it work. So yeah, we got the Yeezy 380 Aliens. Shout out to the Discord group. If I didn't know when the shoe was dropping via rumors and all that and the early links, probably wouldn't be able to cop the shoe today. So the Yeezy 380 Alien at number 4 spot. The number 3 spot goes to the Nike Air Max 90 Mars Landing. This is going to be getting into the crazier experiences I had. So when this shoe released, they marketed this as a quick strike release, which means that technically they're going to be releasing in limited quantities. Everybody was hyping this shoe up. Not too many stores in the area. In my Philadelphia area got it. There was 2 stores, Ubic and Lapstone and Hammer. Lapstone and Hammer did a raffle. I entered it, did not win. And Ubic did first come first serve, which aka camping. This shoe came out on a Saturday. It was Friday. I was tired. Didn't feel like camping overnight for these. Basically, I went there at like around 5, 6 in the morning, set up my chair. I think I had to be maybe 20th in line-ish. And I was like, man, if this is marketed as a quick strike, means there's probably not going to be too many pairs. And I'm a size 13. They apparently got 1 pair of size 13. So what ended up happening was that I thought I was not going to get a pair. This was going to be a waste of time. They gave out tickets with your size on it just to make the release a little bit more organized. They gave that out about an hour before they were opening. What ended up happening, I was around 20th in line-ish, and there's a bunch of other people in front of me. What ended up happening was that the people, like I think from spots like 1 to 5, were not in line at the time they gave out tickets. I don't know what they were doing. I think they were in their car or something like that. And everybody was just bum rushing the line. This was absolutely insane. They didn't go by sequential order of where you were in line, like where you had your chair. So I was around number 20. I ended up getting a top 5 spot in line just because I was just ran. Once they gave out the tickets, I ran. They were just giving them out. And I ended up getting the 5th spot and got my pair super easily. This is a great shoe. This is probably one of the most unique shoes I have in the collection. This is like a fully reflective upper, and it's supposed to resemble the planet Mars, as you can see. It's really, really nice. The sparkle on the midsole, so nice. Put in the orange laces. It usually came with black laces. I put the orange laces, so nice. And I'll have to put a picture of this fully reflecting when it hits the light. So that is the number 3 spot. It is the Nike Air Max 90 Mars Landing. Right, so the number 2 spot goes to the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1. Definitely the most hyped shoe in 2019. This was an absolutely insane experience. What ended up happening was that I actually got 2 pairs of this shoe. Let's just go with the first release. So first they dropped during the Super Bowl. That had to be the 2019 Super Bowl between the Rams and the Patriots. They dropped at the halftime show, I think. And I was not able to get a pair. This was super limited quantities. So these actually released on Travis Scott's birthday, I believe in April-ish, I think it was. And what ended up happening was that, again, the Discord notified me that this shoe may drop at this specific time, usually dropped in the evening. Just had it in my mind. They gave a possible early links to the website, which was Travis Scott's website. If you copy and paste the link, it'll go directly to the product page. And what ended up happening was that I was doing an exam for accounting with my friend Abby. We were doing the exam in the study lounge in my dorm, and basically got the Discord notification that it was live. I basically almost shit my pants. I was like, oh man, I gotta go. I gotta like I basically stopped what I was doing. I was talking to her. I stopped what I was doing, and I was just on my laptop, like just praying that like I chose my size. I was in the little waiting room where it was spinning, and I was like, oh man. And she was like wondering like, what the hell is this kid doing? And I basically told her like, Travis Scott's dropping this new shoe, and absolutely crazy. I got in through the waiting room, and basically once you get through the waiting room, you have to put your shipping information and press complete order. And what ended up happening was that I got this shoe, yo, which was crazy. And the most craziest thing was that I was going to Italy in May, and this came out in April, so I was hoping this would ship out in time, and it ended up not shipping. And the main release via Nike Sneakers, which is the app that they release their most hyped shoes, this was releasing when I was in Italy. So I think the second day I was in Italy, I was in Rome, and they dropped on the Sneakers app. I had to convert the time. It dropped 10 o'clock in the United States Eastern. Had to add 6 hours, so I think that was around 4 o'clock Rome time. And I was on the app, and this was the worst, probably the worst online experience I've ever had trying to get a pair of shoes. The app was so glitchy. It wouldn't accept my payment. It wouldn't accept anybody's payment, actually. And then I actually got a notification from the Discord saying, I was about to give up completely. I was like, this is not worth it. Basically, I think I was going to either a dinner or a wine tour. I honestly forget. And basically what ended up happening was that I was about to give up because I had to go out. And somebody in the Discord notified everybody in the group saying that Nike was actually accepting payments for this shoe. And I ended up clicking my payment and submitting it. I was in line, and I got the got 'em notification, which was absolutely insane. So I got 2 pairs of Travis Scott. And the crazy part was that I was on hotel Wi-Fi, which sort of sucked, and I did not want to use my data plan because cellular data overseas is super expensive. So I was on hotel Wi-Fi the whole time. And once I was able to get this shoe, it was all partying from there. I had a great celebration at dinner time knowing that I secured my second pair. Has to be my most insane pickup of all time. It's probably not the craziest I've had, but this was definitely one of them. It's not the craziest one because the next one deals with hard manual labor, but you can't top that. This was honestly just luck of just copping this shoe, all luck. But I'm glad to have this in my collection, the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 at number 2. And I know you guys are thinking, you're like, this guy hit 2 pairs of Travis Scott 1s. How is this in the number 2 spot? Well, honestly, even though I cherish both of my dubs, I'm very grateful that Nike Sneakers didn't have to give me that dub. You know, stuff just happens. If you're in the game this long, you too probably had a lot of generous W's with regards to buying sneakers. It happens to everyone. But to be honest with you, I've been stone cold on Nike sneakers probably ever since I've hit on the Travis Scott 1s. I haven't really gotten a majorly hyped shoe for retail on Nike Sneakers app in a very long time, so that makes you feel better. That's basically what happened to me after I copped the Travis Scott 1s. And to be honest, those 2 cops for the Travis Scott ones were personally, in my opinion, not my most memorable experience. When I think of the craziest experiences that I had copping shoes, I basically gave up my time. I could have been doing something else for this shoe, which you will see in the number one spot. All right, so the number one most craziest experience copping shoes for me was this shoe right here. It is the Adidas Yeezy 350 V2 Black Static. Now I mentioned this in my previous review when I reviewed the Desert Sage. I very briefly mentioned this. I camped for this shoe. This shoe, extremely hyped for a Yeezy, a all black Yeezy. Probably hasn't dropped at the time of this release. It hasn't dropped in about a year or two. Probably since the Bread V2. If I have a picture, I'll put it up somewhere in this video. But really wanted this shoe, and I knew online was a little bit hard to get just because of bots. I don't have a bot, so it doesn't really help me out much. So I ended up taking all L's locally on in-store raffles, Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champs. Took in all L's on those, and I ended up camping at Snipes for this shoe. It was absolutely crazy. I camped with my friend Andy. Again, shout out to Andy. I mentioned in the last video, I camped with him overnight. We did an overnight camp out. The store closed around 8 o'clock. Had both of our chairs out. I think we were first top two in line here, but we stayed overnight. Again, if you ever camped for anything in your life, whether it be an iPhone, Black Friday, deals, all that stuff, you know how hard it is camping. This was not an easy camp. I'm retired from camping for a little bit right now. I haven't camped in a very long time. It's just so stressful, so much manual labor. This wasn't too bad. This was in June. Weather was really warm, but during the night it got a little bit chilly, so I basically slept in Andy's car, and sleeping in a car is very uncomfortable. I basically didn't get too much sleep because we had to make sure nobody stole our chairs. Basically slept in the car, went to Burger King, which is nearby, got some food, and we got our shoes. They only had one size 13. I got my personal size. The dude in back of Andy, which was the third person in line, he was a size 13. And once he saw they only had one, got pissed off. I don't really care though. I was first in line. And another crazy thing in line was that one of the workers who worked at the Snipes that we were camping at actually camped with us in line. She knew a couple other people in line, so she camped with them. It was a cool experience. She told us how many pairs they had. They didn't tell us exactly how many pairs, but she said a decent amount. I don't want to get her fired, or I'm not gonna reveal her name in this video because I don't even know if she still works there. But shout out to her. Basically had my size in lockdown. But yeah, it was a good camp. But honestly, that had to be my most craziest experience copping shoes, because I camped for nearly 15 hours, which beats anything pressing a button like the Travis Scott Jordan 1s. It was a crazy experience. I copped 2 pairs, but I think this was my most craziest cop of all time because I camped 15 hours. And camping 15 hours for anything takes hard work and dedication, and probably 95% of the people who are watching this think I'm crazy, but I love shoes, and in order to get the shoe for retail price, you gotta do what you gotta do, because retail at the time was probably close to $450 to $500, which was like, I'm not paying that. I try to get this for retail price. I never really pay resale for shoes unless I really have to and I really want them. I wouldn't pay resale for this. Got it for retail. I'm happy. And that's it. That is my number one experience while buying shoes, is the Yeezy 350 V2 Black Static. Honestly, guys, I think the main point of me making this video is that, yeah, I get to share my most craziest experiences buying shoes, but I think the main takeaway from this video is that life is definitely full of memories. You know, life sometimes can give you lemons, but it also gives you some memorable experiences down the road that you can always remember. And You know, when I'm probably 40 years old, probably married, having kids, I look back at this experience and I'm like, man, those are really crazy experiences. You know, I may have been stupid to camp out 15 hours for a pair of shoes, but you know, it's a really memorable experience, and I'll definitely remember this in the long run. So yeah, guys, always remember life is full of memories, and that you want to cherish those memories. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you think of my experiences, what you think. Thank you for watching another Anthony Productions. If you like this video, smash that like button, and also comment down below on your thoughts on this video. And if you are not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down on the bottom right hand corner of this video. If you like this content, stay tuned. There will be more videos to come. Have a great rest of the week. Stay safe and peace out.